Hey, tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be back with you. Hello, hello. Welcome to Monday. It is Monday night. You know what that means. It's astrology time. That's right. Welcome to our show tonight. And hold on a second. Lamb chop? I was wondering where you were. Oh, you were putting on your jewelry. He's putting on his jewelry. Let's see what that. All right, well, come out. Let's see what you got on. All right, come up here and talk to me. All right, there you go. All right. Oh my gosh, what are you wearing today? Here's Lamb Chop, guys. Yay! Look at that. That's Lamb Chop. That's my jewelry you're wearing. He's always into something. Why do you want to wear that? You heard it's a magical cross pendant. Well, I suppose one could say that. And it's Astrology Monday. Yes, it is. Wasn't that beautiful? That's a lovely cross. Well, this is actually an astrology cross, Lamb Chop. Yeah, you know that? But do you know what the sign is that's on that cross? No? This is actually an Aquarius cross. Yeah, Aquarius. Don't relax. Just calm down. Yeah, you're an Aries. Okay, you're the Aries. So this isn't probably the best jewelry. I mean, you can wear it if you want to celebrate the age of Aquarius, I suppose. Do you know where I got this cross, huh? Do you know whose cross this used to be? No. This cross belonged to a very famous psychic and astrologer, and her name was Jean Dixon. And way, way back before you were born, in the 1970s, she came out with a line of jewelry. And this is one of her jewelry pieces. Now, I actually bought this from the estate of Jean Dixon. It was in her personal jewelry collection. So, tubies, if you don't know the story, Jean Dixon was a famous astrologer back in the 60s and 70s and up into the 80s. And she designed a line of astrology jewelry. And she came with a line of crosses. And on each one, I'm going to put you up here closer, okay? On each one, they have the Zodiac symbol. This is Aquarius. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's Aquarius kneeling and he's pouring water. This was actually a piece of Jean Dixon's private jewelry. I bought out a number of her pieces from her estate. She lived about 10 minutes away from me. And I love Jean Dixon. Never did get to meet her when she was alive, but I was at her estate auction and I got some wonderful pieces from her collection. So, Lamb Chop, you have a very famous piece of jewelry that's very valuable, okay? I don't mind if you wear it, but you're going to make sure not to lose it? You promise? Okay, well, you can wear that. It is astrology. And I see you got your crown on. Did you guys see the crown Lamb Chop got? Cola gave this to him when he was in England to celebrate the new king, the ascension of King Charles. He got a crown with some pearls and gold. That's lovely. You are all the bling tonight. Anyways, I'll see if I can find you an Aries cross. Maybe we can get you one. You like that? Okay, well, you can wear that tonight. Listen, Baba Rain's still resting. You have her so worn out from that trip to England. Why don't you go check on her, okay? All right, so jump in. You can go over there, sit with her, and watch the show, okay? All right, go on. There you go. Very good. Oh my gosh, TV, it's just so good to be here with you. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glorified. Speaking of jewelry, look what I'm wearing tonight. This is my old, I love everything from the 1970s. I love vintage stuff. This is my Zodiac wheel pendant from 1970s. It's done in pewter with enamel, and it's the wheel with all 12 Zodiac signs and their symbols. Isn't that cool? You see our big wheel on the wall? This is similar. It's kind of like that. So I'm wearing that. Lamb Chop's got on my Jean Dixon Aquarius cross pendant. We are all blinged out for the stars tonight. Oh, it's so good to have you guys here. Well, welcome. Let's see who's all in our chat. There's Amy Radcliffe is here. Yay, there's Robin Boston is here. Sandra D is here. Baroness Cola Bobs is here. It's a big shout out to her. There's Ramona 9954. Hello, Ramona. Good to see you. Welcome. There's Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Tribe. Lady Jane, I'm sipping my tea here. B. Leclerc says, I remember her too. So you remember Jean Dixon? Yeah, I loved her. Thank you, Rob. And Rob said that's a pretty cost. That was actually part of Jean Dixon's personal jewelry. I bought a number of her pieces. I've got a Zodiac wheel, and I've got 2 cross pendants and some other pieces. I had a bracelet that was hers, and I gave it to somebody as a gift. Let's see here. Who else is here? Oh my gosh, there's B. Leclerc. And Robert Stevens is here. Welcome, guys. So there's Ramona. Stardust C is here. Yay, isn't that great? Gosh, it's nice to have all of you here. Well, Monday, there's Damien Devine. Hey, Damien, good to see you. Yay, Baroness says, I got my Earl Grey tea with bergamot. Thank you so much. Yay. Well, Baroness, we're drinking the same tea, and I think Lady Jane's drinking it with us. So y'all slide up to your computers and get a good cup of tea and join us. There's Gary M. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Well, I am glad you're here. And, Monday is my day off, so I got a rough day. I got to tell you guys what happened. I won't get into all the details for security reasons, but a major hacker almost took control of my cell phone and bank accounts this morning. I've been on the phone most of the day with the bank and with my phone company. It's really scary stuff. So anyways, I had to have a meeting with all these people. Luckily, we stopped the hackers before they got control, and everything's secure for my accounts. But that took all morning to get through. And then I told Baroness, I said, Baroness Colabobs, I said, we going to lunch. I went and had a really nice lunch. I had baked ziti today. Then I came home and I've been working on my house because, I'm decluttering everything because I'm going minimalist. So I'm getting rid of junk. Then I worked on astrology, and now it's time for the show. So that's been kind of my day, Christine C says, geez, Bob, what's wrong with me? Well, when I talked to the phone company who I have my phone with, they told me that this is probably a nationwide breach. It wasn't just me, but I don't want to say any names because of legal stuff, but this company, I notified them. I told them that I said, this is going to affect millions of your people, and I'm going to talk. I called the corporate office at first to discuss it at the phone company I'm with. And they hung up on me. They're like, oh, well, we don't think that's a big deal. I said, it's a major deal. So I went in person to one of their offices and sat down and had a heart-to-heart. When Lord Ision appeared, they kind of listened up. Okay. Anyway, so it's just been, it's supposed to be a day off, and it ended up being very stressful. But when I sat down, started doing my astrology, I love astrology. It just restores me. And that's why I do this show. I know a lot of people say, Bob, it's your day off. Why do you want to be here doing a show on your day? Just take a full day. I said, but you guys don't understand. I said, doing astrology for me, it's my way to relax, Am I still broadcasting, by the way? I hope I'm broadcasting. I hit a button here. Are we? Okay, we're broadcasting. Thank you so much. I have a new computer, and if I touch the screen, it changes stuff around. It looked like I cut myself off. Thank you. So anyways, it's Monday night, and we're going to spin around our big Zodiac wheel, and we're going to see what is in the stars for all of you. Good. Yay. Thank you, guys. I'm glad I'm broadcasting. Woo, thank you, Lord. Whew, time to get glorified. By the way, I want to say thank you to all of you who joined us over the weekend. We had such a good week. Friday night we did live psychic readings. On Saturday we had psychic development class. We worked with electronic voice phenomena. All right. Saturday night we did live tarot readings. We had some cool readings. Sunday I was doing readings all day, and then we had Sunday night live psychic messages from the spirit world. It's been a busy time, but I want to say thank you to all you came in. If you missed this weekend's events, don't worry, because we're going to do it again next weekend. Next Sunday or next Saturday, we're going to do psychic development class. So we want you to be there for our psychic development class. We'd love to have you there. We're going to work on message giving and exploring electronic voice phenomena during message giving. So many times when we open up to receive messages and give messages, spirit voices are captured. So we're going to work on that next week. I'd love to have all of you there. It would be so nice to have you join us, okay? So what you do is you go over to my website, PsychicBob.com, and you can register there. It's only $30 for the class, 2 hours live training. And I think most of you will admit, hopefully, that you enjoy it. And two, I give an awful lot of energy to that class for only $30. You get a lot more than $30 worth of info. I would love to see you guys there, okay? All right. Hi, Rabbitfoot. Listen, tonight is only astrology questions, okay? I'm not doing psychic questions. Good to see you, though. That'd be a whole discussion on the Sri Yantra, but I'm not going to talk about that because we're focusing on astrology. No offense. Bring that question to tomorrow on Tuesday. We're going to do live messages at 12 o'clock noon. I'll explain that from the spiritual perspective, okay? Thank you. So for anybody who's new here, tuning in just new tonight or later, tonight I only do astrology because it's my day off and I'm not doing any psychic readings. And I hope you guys will understand that. Even Psychic Bob has to have a break, as much as I love it. Thank you, Robin. Robin says, yes, it's always a great class. Thank you. Good to have you guys here. All right, so let's talk about what's going on in the stars. We're going to talk about some of the major transits starting off our week, and then we'll get into individual horoscopes. So just hang with us, okay? So we've had a major transit yesterday. Our sun at the middle of our, that's the big glorious sun, the great, it's called the great illuminator of the zodiac, moved into the sign of Scorpio. Where's my Scorpio up here? There it is. Scorpio. So we are now here in the sign of Scorpio, okay? We're going to be in the sign of Scorpio from October 23rd through November 21st. So happy birthday to our Scorpios. Again, that's October 23rd through November 21st. And Scorpio is a water sign. I find a lot of Scorpios make wonderful artists. They're wonderful psychics. That water energy Scorpio makes them go deep. Now, you know, Scorpios, sometimes they can be deeply wounded. And if you hurt a Scorpio, they take it to the deepest part of their soul. So always be kind. We should be kind to everybody, but especially Scorpios, they feel things more deeply. They're the sensitives of the zodiac. I think them and Cancer are some of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. Scorpios, a lot of them are artists, a lot are musicians. You know, they feel their way through music. You know, the best music, you feel your way through it, don't you? You know, Christine says, LOL, I love the water, but I'm no artist or very psychic. Oh, I think you're much more tuned in than you realize, Christine. But that Scorpio is just wonderful. So happy birthday to our Scorpios. You know, when the sun moves, it's a major time. So for you Scorpios that are here, this is your power month, okay? From now till November 21st, you got a little extra power because the sun is in your sign. And you know what? You want to use that. So if you're a Scorpio, this is a great time to get back to your goals. Some of you may be saying, you know, I wanted to go do a job change this last year, never got around to it. I wanted to rewrite my resume, or gee, I wanted to look at doing, you know, moving to a new home or a new workplace. And you just kind of, whatever reason, got off track. Revisit your major life goals now. When the sun is in your sign, maximum power. All right. So you Scorpios got a lot of blessing right now. Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob, I'm a Scorpio, but no artist or singer. You don't have to be. I mean, I'm not saying every Scorpio is an artist or a singer or musician, but a number of you'll find across the Scorpio community, there are a lot of people in those professions. It's very common. A lot of Scorpios are writers as well because they feel depth and they express it. And poets and, you know, writers. Yes, a lot of creative. Amsterdam. Hey, Amsterdam. So Amsterdam says creativity. Yes, creativity. I think that's a good word. So you Scorpios, you know, you're in your power sign, and happy birthday to all of you. Okay. So now let's say, so we're starting off this week. By the way, this horoscopes, go get a notepad and take notes because there's a lot of information in this show. Okay, so this forecast is for today, Monday, October the 24th, 2022, through Sunday, October the 30th, 2022. So the 24th of October through the 30th of October, Monday through Sunday. All right. People say, why do you always do horoscopes on Monday? One, it's my day off and I enjoy it. But Monday's the beginning of the week. A lot of people need help with their work week. And this astrology will give you a lot of insight for the week. Okay. So you want to, oh, thank you, Scott. There's Scott from South Carolina. He says, please push the thumbs up button, everyone. It helps this channel. That it does, Scott. Thank you so very much. Yes, you need to tell YouTube that you love Psychic Bob. Please, on all my videos, give thumbs up if you can. Put comments that you like it. YouTube is doing kind of a purge lately. Some of the major YouTubers that I follow, I won't say their names because I don't want to get into political stuff, but they've lost all their money. They've been demonetized. Some have been told to leave YouTube. They've been deplatformed. Very upset. There's just a purge. And, this, I never thought in America we would see this. And these are people, and I can't say their channels, but they're not breaking the rules. Like, they have no strikes against them. They're not doing anything. YouTube's just like, well, we don't like you. Goodbye. And so I actually was threatened with closure a few years ago, like 2 years back. They're like, well, you're on our list. We're watching you. We might get rid of you. I said, what did I ever do? Nothing. This is, we don't like you. So I've been told that the YouTube doesn't like me. So you need to help save Psychic Bob's channel by please thumbs up. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Scott, for saying that. Yeah. Anyways. All right, so let's talk about this week, our major transits. So we're starting off with that sun in Scorpio. Today we've got our moon in the sign of Libra. We'll be there for the next 2 days. Libra is an air sign, so that opens up a sense of inspiration, sense of communication. You're going to feel. Now pay attention to how you feel when you express yourself, because with that Scorpio sun, that Libra, that can give real inspiration. Now, I have to be honest, we've got a little bit of challenges starting off our week because we've got our moon trine Mars right now. Well, moon trine Mars is actually a favorable aspect. That inspires you. So with that moon trine Mars, Scorpio sun, and the Libra moon, you're going to be feeling it, okay? But the challenge is people you're trying to connect to may not be feeling it. We've got our moon square Pluto and Mercury square Pluto. And this means you may be a little blocked in forming alliances with others or getting them to get your truth. All right. Moon square Pluto also means it may be hard to get an inner sense of what's really going. So this week, things might be a little nebulous. You might feel like you're getting knowledge, you're getting inspiration, but when you share it with people, they're like, huh, what? They don't get it. Be patient. You hold on to your truth this week. Don't let anybody sway you from that. We also have Mars square Neptune, which is a very strange transit, because Mars, again, is the planet of inspiration. We've got, as I said, the moon trine Mars, which means you inside will feel inspiration and clarity. But Mars square Neptune says that you may have trouble, though, getting a sense, a psychic handle on it. So you might say, I'm feeling it, but as I try to look at it from a psychic place, I feel like I'm blocked. There's a lot of hidden energy this week, because with those square Pluto alignments and that square Neptune, it's like things are hidden deep, all right? And then we've got Saturn on top of it, square Uranus this week. Saturn square Uranus means that people may act a little erratic, sit in judgment, be a little harsh, be flippant. So you might like go into a situation with the best of intents to bring everybody together and talk about stuff and kumbaya, and it might just blow up in your face where people are like, well, I don't like you and I don't want to hear this and that. And you're like, what is going on? And then you try to get to the bottom of it. You just can't figure out where it's at. This is a little bit of the energy this week. Now, let me just emphasize, don't let that make you think the whole week is bad, because there are a lot of other transits that we're going to come in later in the week. We'll talk about that later. But for right now, that's kind of the next few days, next like 2 to 3 days. That is kind of a really strong circuit of energy that's going. So right now, I guess the best I could say about that is keep your inspirations to yourself, because ain't nobody going to be open to hearing it. Doesn't mean you're wrong or that you're not getting things right. It just means it's going to be hard to get people to see it, to understand, and to unite with you. Pluto is a planet that brings a lot of times partnerships together and alliances. So you might feel like you're a little bit on your own this week. And this actually is for all zodiac signs. All right. So, whoever you are, wherever you are, Listen to your inner voice because it won't steer you wrong, okay? As I said, we've got the moon trine Mars, which gives you mystical insight. That's a channeling light. But you might end up being just channeling for yourself and nobody else is on the same page. So, sometimes it just goes that way. And you know, so Baroness, just a note for you. I just got your text. No, it's not. I actually know that person that you're talking about. So no. Okay. So there you go. All right. So there's kind of our major energy inflow. Okay. Saturn square Uranus is not a pleasant one. Saturn is the brakes of the zodiac. Sometimes that means everything freezes up. Saturn is also a planet. It can be a planet of judgment or harshness. And Saturn is oftentimes also connected to mystical occult power. So Saturn square Uranus, from an occult perspective, if you practice magic or Wicca like I do, says, be prepared. You might cast some spells and things go awry. So please, any of you who do spell casting, Saturn square Uranus is a little caution to double check your spells, double check your wording. Don't just assume stuff because the best laid plans can go awry. All right. So just a point of caution for you magic people out there who practice Wicca. Gary O says, no spells here. Well, good, Gary. Probably best for right now. Anyways, so you guys with me here? All right. We're all on the same page. I don't want to lose anybody. All right. So there you go. That's kind of some of the things in motion. But listen, even when we have some challenging aspects, remember, as I always say, that zodiac wheel is spinning. So don't be panicked. In a few days, things will align and we'll have more stuff. All right, but that's going to get you at least started on the right path this week. There, Amsterdam's is doing the horn lord. Or deflect the evil. Let's deflect the evil. There you go. All right. Well, now we are going to spin around the wheel and talk about your individual horoscopes. So many of you write to me and say, Psychic Bob, I love it when you do your horoscopes for each zodiac sign. You tell me what signs you are. So we're going to spin around this wheel. Now, if you don't know what zodiac sign you are, and it's strange, I run into people occasionally who, when I say, what sign are you? They go, I don't know. I never learned that. It's strange to me because I guess it's the era I grew up in. I grew up in the 70s when astrology was all the big rage, 70s and the 80s. And everybody was into zodiacs. Even people that weren't into astrology were into it on some level. They knew their sign. They might, have star scroll. By the way, I got a star scroll from years ago to show. Do you remember star scroll? Some of you remember. There was a thing when you used to be able to go to like CVS or Rite Aid or Walgreens and then have a little, like in the vending machine area, they'd have a little vending machine called Star Scroll. And you put a quarter in, or maybe it was a dot. No, I think it was a quarter back then. And you would turn the knob to your star sign. And then a little scroll would drop down out of the machine in a little container. You'd open the flap and you'd get a little scroll. And you would open it, it would have all your astrology information for the month. It's called Star Scroll. It lasted up until the early 2000s. I bought the last one, I think, in 2002. So it's almost 20 years now. It's been gone. But I bought that since the 1970s, Yeah, Scott from South Carolina says, we used to look for our horoscope in the daily newspaper. That's true. Christine C says, I had to be a quarter. Christine, do you remember Star Scroll? Am I the only one here who knows what I'm talking about? Robin, you might remember Star Scroll. Star Scroll was so cool. You know what? Hold on. Let me just check. I may have my Star Scroll over because this is worth seeing. All right, hold on. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't find it right now. I didn't think of it. I'll find it next week. We'll have Star Scroll, okay? I've got it put up somewhere because I was clearing my house. I think I put it in a good, safe place. Anyways, I'm just curious if anybody remembers Star Scroll. Robin Boss says, I remember them. Star Scroll. Yeah. Baroness says, I read my horoscope in the local paper. What an interesting thing it was, she says. Yeah, it was interesting. There's Starborn 10. Hello, Astrology Night with Bob. Yay. Thank you. Welcome. Anyways, Celia Jane said, I used to read my horoscope in the paper when I was a kid. Yeah, we used to get a newspaper. I think it was well, we got multiple. We had the Washington Post, which had its astrology column. And then we had the Baltimore Star, I think it was, the Star newspaper. And that used to have Gene Dixon's column in it. Anyways, all right, so we're going to talk about individual signs, all right? So sorry I couldn't find my Star Scroll. I was so excited. I thought it was over on my refrigerator, but I've moved it somewhere. Anyways, so we're going to spin around the wheel, all right? And let's start with Aries. By the way, if you don't know your zodiac sign, I'm going to give the birth date range after each sign. So listen up, and when you hear the sign where your birthday falls, that's your sign, okay? All right, so our first sign on our wheel tonight is Aries. And Aries is March 21st through April 19th. All right now, Aries, you've got Jupiter reigning in your in Aries in the first house. Right now, you want to practice discretion with money matters. Right now, you actually hold the power. Aries, you have the ability to release funds, to keep funds. And the alignments show kind of around Aries right now that it's better to practice discretion. You actually have the upper hand. The world will see you as powerful, but don't go flaunting it. If you're in Aries and you're like, you know what, I got a little extra money, and people are like, hey, can we borrow money? Don't be flash with the cash and tell everybody what you got. Keep it calm, observe people, and then you'll know what to do with your money. But right now, Aries looks like you're coming into a period of some prosperity. But as I say, discretion is the better part of valor. So, Aries, as you get flashed with the cash, which you will, keep it secret. Hold it within. Don't flash around your money. Just be thankful and then use it discretion, because sometimes wealth, and blessings and money can be a challenge because people get jealous and they want to demand stuff and fight with you. So don't do that. Okay. You be discreet and then you're going to be fine. Okay. So this week, Aries, it's about zipping the lip, keeping the cash hidden in your wallet. Don't be walking around flashing bills. All right. Be discreet, and you have the power. Aries may find this week they're also in money negotiations. Some of these alignments I saw around indicate kind of an alignment with negotiation. And so you, Aries, also in business negotiations, actually have the upper hand. Again, don't flaunt your power. Use it wisely. Keep it secret. And use applied pressure where you need to gain influence. But Aries, this is not a week to be full of yourselves and grandiose. Subtlety, discretion, observation, and silence. Those are your keys to this week. All right? Claim that Jupiter power. Ooh, you're going to be all right. There you go. Blessings to you. Oh, by the way, Aries is March 21st through April 19th. Okay. All right. That's Aries. Next sign on our wheel, spinning around the wheel. Do you guys remember the TV show Wheel of Fortune? Pat Sajak. Any of you watch? I think it's still on. It was my mother used to love it. I always watch Wheel of Fortune. But every time he'd spin that wheel, I'd always think of the Zodiac. And I'm like, they ought to have a game show where they spin it. It's like Zodiac questions. Anyways. All right. I might just come up with a new TV show there. The Zodiac Wheel of Fortune. All right. Next sign on our spinning Zodiac wheel is Taurus, and that's April 20th through May 20th. All right, Taurus, right now, you've got Uranus in your sign, which indicates there could be sudden changes coming. You want to really right now, this next week, Taurus, particularly just be open to change. All right. Avoid trying to be rigid or locked into either any opinions or any situations where you're committed. Like try to give yourself an exit point. All right, Taurus, and really practice flexibility. This is not a week for Taurus to hold down a rigid opinion. Taurus, as the bull, that's your side, the bull, you can be a little rigid at times. You can be forceful and want your way. But this week, Taurus, your success comes through flexibility, adaptation. Okay, what did they teach us in science school, right? Evolution occurred through adaptation. The beings who could adapt to new environments and new situations had a much better chance of survival than beings who could not do adaptation. And this is really true in the Taurus situation this week. That Uranus influence kind of stirs things up a little bit this week for Taurus. Not necessarily bad, but it will require adaptation, flexibility, and openness to new ways to maneuver it, whether that's in career or family matters or financial matters. Let's say, for example, you're a Taurus, right? And you go into your work and you've always set in one area. It's like, that's my desk. I have to be in that area. Well, if the boss comes in and says, I'm doing a new seating plan, we're going to move you over down this area, just go with it because you're going to find that adaptation, that adaptability, actually you're going to end up liking it better. Whereas if you fought it, you would have missed a great opportunity. So, be open to changes, be open to new things. You may find a lot of you Tauruses may find that your jobs change this week. Not like you're fired, but more kind of like they'll say, oh, well, we're going to change your position around. Just go with that flow because everything around Taurus indicates that wealth will be coming in the next few months. So I feel like these changes that are coming kind of foreshadow greater success in the future. Okay. So just go with the flow, Taurus, and that's your secret to success. All right. You with me? All right. Wonderful. Got to sip some tea here. By the way, I'm using one of my mugs that's got stars. Amsterdamsel got me a beautiful mug. Amsterdamsel, I love my mug so much. I have it up and I'm looking at it. I'm scared to use it. It's so pretty. I'm almost scared. When you get something new, you don't want to mess it up. Anyways, this mug's all old and stained, so that's why I use it. But my new mug for Amsterdamsel, I love it. Amsterdamsel, I am going to break it in. I think I'm going to wait and take it to England when I go to see Baroness, and then we'll drink out of our mugs together. All right. Amsterdamsel gave me a lovely gift of an astrology mug. All right. And tea. Yeah. All right. There we go. Thank you, Amsterdamsel. All right. Next on our wheel is Gemini, the twins. Gemini is May 21st through June 20th. Right now, Gemini, you've got Mars in your sign in the 4th house. This is giving you inspiration and insight and motivation. All right. Gemini, you really want to follow your inspiration right now. Right now, especially this week with our sun in Scorpio, between that and then you've got Mars figuring in your 4th house, this is all about making things happen, but by your lead and your inspiration. So Gemini, you have my permission, well, really the cosmos's permission and encouragement to launch into your vision, launch into your dreams. People around you, Gemini, may not get what you're doing this week. They're like, what are they on about? But if you're feeling it, you be dealing it, okay? You're feeling it, you deal it, because that's where your success comes, all right? Let Mars burn channeled knowledge, channeled inspiration through you, and you'll be a success. If you, Gemini, this week, play it by the book, doing everything the safe way, just because it's on the book, you're going to miss a great opportunity to discover some new power about yourself, some new psychic ability and prosperity ability as well. Because it looks like this inspiration will be a large part of it affecting you in a financial way. So if you're a Gemini, you've been wanting to start a business, you want to apply for a new job, you've been saying, you know what, I could apply for that promotion. I might be able to get it. You're feeling it. You be dealing it. And that is your success, all right? Whoo! Be glorified, Gemini. You got the twins, twin power. All right, there we go. Next sign on our wheel is Cancer, and that's June 21st through July 22nd. Now, Cancer, that's one of our water signs. I always think of Scorpio and Cancer is kind of almost like twin signs in a way. Even though they're in different parts of the wheel, their energy is similar in a lot of ways. Cancer, you're going to be feeling the Scorpio energy this whole month because you're in sync with it. So it's kind of a power point to you Cancers as well. This week, Cancer, you are in the role of healer and nurturer to others. This week, Cancer, think about how you can be of service to others, particularly of healing and nurturing. Cancer, you're going to find this week that you are the company nurse, right? Everybody gets a faint paper cut. They're going to run you. Oh, I don't know what to do with my finger. Here, let me get you a Band-Aid, okay? Seriously, like that's going to be a recurring theme, healing and nurturing. Don't get angry at people this week, Cancer, when they all show up at your office during the day, hoeing and humming and how upset they are, crying on your shoulder. You just pat them on the back, give them a little comfort. This is your role, Cancer. You are the nurturer. You are the healer this week. Oh, I'm dropping my glasses. Hold on. You are the healer and you are the nurturer. And if you can accept that, you can end up doing a really great service to humanity. And along the way, Cancer, you may build allies that you've been wanting in your life. If you're a Cancer and you've been thinking, gee, I wish I had some friends. I wish that I had a little more going on in my life. This week, you want to give out your energy in love, support, and nurturing. And you'll draw to yourself people who will be truly appreciative and thankful. And you'll find that you're bringing balance to your own life as you heal and nurture others. All right. So that's your homework this week, Cancer. Roll with it. All right. There's our next sign on our wheel is Leo. And Leo is July 23rd through August 22nd. Leo, guess what? You usually are the go-getters of the Zodiac. You're usually out there fist pumping at all the rallies, naming and claiming your deals. Guess what, Leo? You're going to be sidelined this week. Not by anybody around you, but by the cosmos. This week, Leo, your energy is all about rest, about withdrawal from the world. And now that's a strange position for a Leo to be in because I know how Leos are. But this week, Leo, you have the cosmos' not only permission, but astrological encouragement to step back, chillax, drink a cold one or a good hot cuppa, and just put your feet up. There's not a lot of energy for Leo this week to get major things done. It doesn't mean you're failing or you're falling behind. It just means it's a quiet time. So take advantage of the quiet. Restore your soul. Let that fire, Leo's a fire sign. That fire that kindles in the heart and soul of Leo, it needs time to rejuvenate. So Leo, if you've got big plans in your head, that's all right. Save this week, you get to chill, sip your tea, and watch the world go by. And if you honor that, Leo, your power will build. You will enjoy this week. You'll be in alignment with the stars. I always say about Zodiac, it's not meant here. The Zodiac is not meant to dominate us and control our life. You do whatever you want, Leos. But I think that if we study the patterns and we work with that energy that's present, we get a lot more joy in our lives, a lot more success. So I always say you can go with the flow of the universe or you can go against the flow. Either way, you get to decide. But when you go against the flow of the universe, it's probably not too wise because them asteroids will come around, smack you on the backside when you least expect it. Oh my gosh. So Leo, chillax mode. That's what it's about this week. Have fun. This is a weekly, and I'm not joking when I says Leo should go to their, get their favorite movies at Blockbuster. Well, there's no Blockbuster anymore. Go on Netflix, get your favorite movies. I'm still back in 1990. Go online, get your favorite movies. Or if you're old fashioned like me and still love DVDs, maybe you can find a DVD. Plan it, make it movie night every week. Stay in, Netflix and chill, and make it your week of quiet. And you're going to rock it. So there you go, Leo. You got a week of vacation. Compliments of Psychic Bob. All right, next sign on our wheel is Virgo. Ooh, Mother Goddess. Virgo. Ooh, I love Virgo. August 23rd through September 22nd. All right. Virgo, this week for you, your sign is falling in the 6th and 7th houses all week. This is inspiring you to move forward in your career, to be out in the world. But you also have the influence here of wanting to be of service to others. And so your career advancement right now, Virgo, is really about moving yourself forward in your career through service to others. So Virgo, you want to look, and there's Amy Radcliffe. Amy said, I'm a Virgo. Yay, Virgo power. All right. So Virgo, you want to really think about, how do I serve? How can I be of service? And then work that into your career plan. Maybe you realize, your boss every day is always behind on reports because they just can't get the numbers together. Well, maybe you could just add on to your job to go do some calculations, and every day just start bringing him at 4:00 the final numbers of the day. So he doesn't have to look at them or figure it out. He's like, oh, you brought me, so like Amy, this could be you. Boss said, oh, you brought me those final end of the day numbers. Thank you. Wow, I didn't know you could put those together. And the boss will be like, that's really great. Now, the boss being gracious won't say every day, you need to give me those numbers. He'll just appreciate. But then the next day you do it, and the boss will be like, wow, that Amy Radcliffe, she really is on top of this. Maybe we have to talk about her job expanding to she'll help manage this report I do every day. And boom, you just walked your way into a promotion right here at the end of the year because the budgets are getting settled. He's like, I got some extra money. Amy's been helping me on the report. I think I'm going to add that onto her position. We're going to give her a raise, and boom, you just got a promotion. See, that's what we're talking about with Virgos, career advancement through service. So don't you Virgos get there and go, well, I do enough work already, and damn, that boss drives me crazy. No. How can you serve? Be humble. Serve from the heart, and you're going to be blessed, Virgo. All right. So your work this week is career advancement through service. How you guys like PsychicBob's chicken scratch notes? I'm old fashioned. I handwrite everything. All right. Baroness Goldenbob says I lived back in 1930. She said, you're in the 1930s still, handwriting stuff on paper. I said, now give me some credit, Baroness. I'm at least up to the 1950s. I think I'm at least in the 50s. All right. So there we go. Libra is our next sign on our wheel. Hello, Libras. Love my Libra friends. So Libra is September 23rd through October 22nd. All right. All right. Now, let me see what we got. Oh, this is a power time for you, Libras. Libras, you have, of all the signs this week, you had the most interesting alignment of planets. I'm going to tell you why. Because this week, Libra, you've got the sun, the moon, Venus, and Mercury all favorably aligned in your 7th house. This 7th house is about forming relationships, forming partnerships and unions. The sun gives you visibility. The moon gives you intuition. Venus makes you look good and have rapport with people. And Mercury opens communications and learning. This week, Libra, of all the signs, I think you have the greatest power, other than Scorpios. But the Scorpios and you are kind of close. So this week, Libra, it's about, forming partnerships. Go out, build alliances. If you've been thinking, my department at work, we're all scattered, bring everybody to lunch. Start to build a plan. This is your power week, Libra, to get everybody on the same plan. And Libras, you're great at bringing people together. And I would say this week with that, all that 7th house energy is about bringing everybody together, getting everybody unified, and getting on the same page. And you're going to see that your life improves immeasurably in work and in personal life as well. If you're a Libra and you felt like your family is scattered or your friends, and do a meeting with them, get everybody together, get that conversation power going. And the sun, the moon, and Venus are backing all that. With you as an air sign and a natural communicator, there's no way you can lose this week, Libra. It's your power play week. Name it and claim it. Whoo, glorify. All right, be glorified. All right, and now we're spinning the wheel to our next sign, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is October 23rd. We just entered it yesterday to November 21st. Scorpius, as I mentioned earlier, you are in your power mode now. Now, this week in particular, all right, you've got the South Node in the 8th house. And a lot of this energy around this means it's a good time to explore your past lives. Scorpio, you're going to feel a little mystical this week, a little introspective. Gather all that information and then share it with others. You're going to find this week, Scorpio, that there are people that are drawn to you that want to be open to mysticism. It's almost like you become a spiritual teacher, even if you're not trying. You're going to see this week, Scorpio, that people out of the blue just come up to you and say, I had a dream that I was in this other country. And then they'll casually off the cuff say, I wonder if I had a past life there. And I don't even believe in past lives, but it makes me wonder. And you, Scorpio, because you're mystics, you're the mystics of the Zodiac, you'll be able to say, you know what? You might have lived in ancient China. Let me tell you about reincarnation. Do you know what that is? And I'm like, well, a little bit. And you start having a discussion, and the whole person's course of their life changes because now they have a spiritual perspective, whereas they didn't before. And this is going to give you a lot of power this week, Baroness Kolobov says, LOL, Bob's the mystical minimalist. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to start using, I'm the mystical minimalist. Thank you, Baroness. So Scorpio, this week, all right, you really want to delve into the mystery of your own soul journey. And that's going to put you in touch with that energy, and then you can help other people on their soul journey. I'm telling you, this week, Scorpio, is going to happen. You're going to have people you would have never thought would ask you about their soul journey or their past lives. Start talking about it. And it won't be in a mocking way. I mean, they might start off like it's a little joke, past lives. But really underneath it, there's something serious. So you Scorpios, be attuned, because this is your opportunity this week to be the spiritual guide, to help people seriously, and I mean this in a serious way, to get their lives, their spiritual lives going. As many of you know, and I've said it on many of our shows, and I say it sometimes, well, I won't go into all the details, but I have a great concern for the world now, because there's such a rise of atheism and almost a mocking of anybody who believes in spiritual truth, that never in the history of the earth have, I think, human beings been so far away from their own soul as what we're experiencing today. A few years ago, there were riots all over the country. I won't mention groups or anybody. Maybe some of you remember this, like the last 2 years. And I found that the people that were leading the riots were diehard atheists and Marxists. And there's a big push, at least in my own city, to make people of faith marginalized. So you Scorpios have important work to do. So don't miss the opportunity to grow your own soul and to be a light to other people seeking to know truth of the soul. I'm a big believer in it. There you go, Scorpio. You got a big assignment this week, huh? I think you and the Libras are going to have the hardest work cut out for you this week, because the Libras got to organize, use all that planetary power to get everybody aligned. And you've got to help people get on the track to awakening. I'm telling you. All right, next sign on our wheel, Sagittarius, November 22nd through December 21st. All right. Sagittarius, it's time to put on your professor cap and robes, because learning is the key this week. It's all about education. Your sign is falling clearly in the 9th house, which is focusing on skill development, learning, knowledge, power through learning. Sagittarius, this is not a week to be slack. Now, you don't get to be like the Leos. The Leos are the only sign this week that get to goof off all week. All right. Don't say, well, I don't have to do anything. It's just a learning. Well, I'll just skip class and sleep and party. No, Sag. This is be actively engaged in the learning process. All right. Education is power. Knowledge is power. And some of you Sagittarius are at a point in your life, you're like, you know what? I'm hitting a plateau. My career's not really going. It's not feeling it. So what do? You're going to have to figure where you need some skills. This is a great week for Sagittarius to do that deep introspective work where you say, what do I really want out of life? Where do I want to be? And then ask yourself, can you really get there? And if you say, for example, let's say you're a Sag and you say, I've always wanted to have my own yoga studio, right? Well, this week, Sag, you need to go find out how somebody builds a yoga business. What goes into that? What licenses do you have to start learning? And then you're in a place of power to manifest. So it's all about knowledge and education. You want that promotion? You work at a company and they say, there were job requirements says, must have experience in calculus and C+ programming. And you're like, wow, I know a little bit about calculus. I know a tiny, tiny bit about C program, but not nearly enough like the job. Well, go take a calculus course and sign up for a C+ programming class. Then you can actually be considered for the job and your life moves forward. It's all about education, all about learning, all about discovering your knowledge and your power and where you're lacking knowledge and then fixing that. Knowledge is power. Get into school, Sagittarius. You don't get to be, the Leos get to skip school this week. Well, not really. If you're a Leo, you're supposed to be in school, don't skip. But you can take it a little lighter, but not the Sagittarius. Sagittarius have to be in class every day and on time and doing homework. Get on it, Sag. You guys know what I mean. All right, next letter was Capricorn. Nicole is a Capricorn, and her nickname is El Caprio. That's what I call her. Sometimes I call her El Magneto. All right, Capricorn. Ooh, that Earl Grey does something to me. Cole, are you sure there's not alcohol in the Earl Grey? It's making me loopy today. All right, Capricorn, December 21st through January 19th. Capricorn, this week is not a week of isolation for you. It is a week to engage with the world. It is a week for Capricorn to see and to be seen. This week, you've got Pluto in your sign in the 11th house, which is bringing you into circles of groups of people. This is a week, Capricorn, to focus on friends, meeting up with people, going to meetings, making phone calls, seeking your goals and aspirations. All right. Maybe Capricorn, you've been thinking, well, I need to get this one project going, but I just haven't had time. Focus on it, but don't do it alone. Call up a friend, say, I need to go visit this real estate person to get my move for my new apartment going. Bring a friend along with you, or call the real estate office and say, I really need help. I don't know what I'm doing. Can I come in and meet with you? It's all about interface. Interface with the people that can help you. Interface with friends that are supporting you. Interface with the world. Do not, Capricorn, sit in your house alone looking at the walls going, life sucks. No, you got to engage with the world. Pluto gives you gives you the power for union and unity with people that will help you achieve your aspirations. But you got to be brave enough to go into the big, bad, scary world and risk being seen. And if you put yourself out there this week, Capricorns, you're going to rock it. And remember, Capricorns have this way of moving swiftly through things. So even if you got to go deal with a little anxiety, you'll get through it really quickly because you're a Capricorn. Nothing's going to drag, but you need the power of the group to make power in your area of your dreams and aspirations. You name it, you claim it, you interface with it, you slay it. Well, don't slay anybody, but you know what I mean. All right, Capricorn. So it's all about union, seeing and being seen, going to the people and interfacing, talking, sharing, asking, inquiring, seeing and being seen. All right. There you go. All right. Next sign on our wheel, and I'm not prejudiced, even though I am one of them, is Aquarius. Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th. All right, Aquarius. This week, you're a little bit like the Capricorns, that you're being called into the outer world as well. But Aquarius, don't plunge full forward into the big world. Retain your inner balance. Aquarius are going to find that they're feeling mystical and introspective. They're having visions, senses of how they can do things. Honor the inner world this week, Aquarius, but also venture into the outer world a little bit and test it. Find where you have balance between living in the outer world, communicating those thoughts, and still maintaining your solitude. Aquarians this week are still in a pattern where, they're in the 12th house, which sometimes deals with issues around solitude. They've got Saturn in the 12th house all week in their sign, which really gives them a sense of withdrawing. But part of their sign is drifting also into the first house, which makes them want to go into the outer world. So there's a little bit of tug and pull here for you, Aquariuses, of do I go into the world and be bigger than life, or do I stay within? It's really a balancing of both, Aquarius. So do not sacrifice your inner mysticism, your contemplation, your alone time. You must, as an Aquarius, have that this week. But do not be so alone that you don't share some of your experience with the outer world, because Aquarius is a water bearer and is a life giver. And you have a job also, Aquarius, to nurture those around you by being present for them. So inner world versus outer world, just work on balance there and you will rock it. You will be fine. Ain't no problem. Name it and claim it. Woo, glorified. And our next sign on our zodiac wheel spinning is Pisces. That is February 19th through March the 20th. All right, Pisces. Woo, glorified. All right, so this week, Pisces, it's for you, as the Capricorns and Aquariuses are going out into the world a little more. You're going to withdraw from the world. Last few weeks, Pisces, you've been asked to go out and to be gregarious. Stars have been saying, promote yourself, promote your visions, share it. This week, Capricorn, you're a little bit like the Leos in that you get some quiet time. This is a week for you to withdraw from the world, to have a spiritual, physical retreat. You've got Neptune right now, which is your ruling planet, in your sign in the 12th house all week long. And this is giving you the impetus to withdraw, to go within. If you can, as a Pisces, take some personal days this week, or even if you could take a whole week of vacation, it would do you well. But if you're in a job position or a situation where you just can't, not do that, you can't do that, then try to, as much as you can, give yourself quiet time. If you have a job where you work with the public and you have to talk all day, when you get home, shutter the windows, close the doors, take the phone off, and give yourself that restoration. As much as you can, Pisces, it's about the inner world. Give yourself some extra sleep to process your dreams. Keep a dream journal this week, because Pisces, the inner psychic world of Neptune, is really communicating with you, okay? And you want to really think about, Amsterdam says to withdraw money. No, you don't want to withdraw money. You want to withdraw from the outer world and everybody's voices. You might find, Pisces, this is the irony, when you're supposed to be reclusive, everybody then wants to talk to you. But don't let everybody get into your space. Give yourself some distance. Don't rush to please everybody. You find your own quiet. That's your source of power this week, Pisces. So don't give up your peace and your introspective contemplation time. Try to run around pleasing everybody. You get to be withdrawn and a little quiet. And in fact, you really need to have the maximum success going forward. So honor yourself this week. Quiet, peace, reflection. And as much as you can, try to just stay away from everybody. That doesn't mean be antisocial and hate everybody, but it means think about the people in your life, Pisces, who drain you. You need a little separation from that. This is about you this week, taking bubble baths, wearing your favorite clothes, having your favorite food, solitude, watching your favorite movies, all right? So that's going to be your work this week, Pisces, all right? Well, there we go, guys. We have spun around our big zodiac wheel. We are glorified. The stars are in motion, and Psychic Bob is feeling it. Ooh, got that star power. Got on my zodiac wheel. I'm telling you, I got on my zodiac. I'm feeling it. I'm spinning. Anyways, do you guys have any astrology questions? I'll just take a few questions now if you have anything you want to ask. I'm not doing psychic readings, but I'll answer an astrology question if you have one. All right. All right. Amy Radcliffe says, my Pisces sister drains me. Well, guess what, Amy? This week, tell your Pisces sister, Psychic Bob said she's got to withdraw and just chill. Okay, that's her work. All right, there you go. Robin Boss says, oh, that sounds good, Bob. Yay. I'm so glad that you enjoyed this today. Amsterdam says, good question. Amsterdam says, are there signs that are energy drains on other signs? Actually, all the signs have the potential to be drains on other signs because every sign has positive and negative aspects. Some signs clash. For example, like fire signs and earth signs, they feel like they suffocate each other. So like, for example, sometimes, like, for example, an Aries and a Taurus might clash because Taurus is an earth sign. And they like the fire sign feels like they're deadened by the Taurus. The Taurus feels that the fire is agitating them and not listening to. I'm not saying across where it's always that way, but there does tend to be patterns where certain signs clash. So yes, but it just depends sign to sign, really. All right. But like, that saying opposites attract one. Astrology opposites sometimes irritate each other. Okay. So, not always, but anyway, so like, that's a good example. Aries and Taurus. Aries fire sign. Taurus is earth. Aries will feel like Taurus stifles them many times and drains their energy. All right. Thank you, Bears. Yeah, for you guys who are interested in the seance, I will send out the invoices tonight. We've just been tied up with stuff, and I've been tied up all day. So we'll finalize the list tonight. We have a lot of people. I may not be able to get everybody in tonight. So we're limiting it to 10 people. So bear with us. If you don't get into this event, we will have another one next month, so don't worry. All right. Thank you so much. Blessings. Yeah, I will send invoices later tonight. Okay. So thank you for your patience. I've just been overwhelmed. All right. There's Damien Devine. Hello, Damien. Damien says, does it mean anything, Bob, if you're one day off at the end of the sign? For example, Scorpion's on 21st, but my birthday is the 20th of November. Damien, there are people who believe that as you progress through the sign, you take on aspects of the next sign or the former sign. So like if you're right at the end of, your sign, you may bleed through a little bit of the next sign. All right. So like, for example, hold on, let me see your. Hold on, so I just lost your question here. There it is. So also when you're right on the edge like that, that's called being on the cusp. And so you will exhibit traits of both sides. To know exactly, Damon, you might have always thought you were a Scorpio, but you might be, you know, um, a Sagittarius. The only way we'd know that is to look up in ephemeris to see the exact date because the signs shift by a day or two every year. They move forward, then they move back. So it really depends if you're on that cusp. But if you're near a cusp, generally you will draw energy from the other side. And if you're like cusp like that, I tell people read both horoscopes or listen to both. You may feel more in harmony with one than the other. Okay. I hope that helps. Thank you so much. And conversely, Damien, if you're right at the beginning, you've just moved in, you may have, you know, hangover from the other side. So, like, if I was an Aquarius right on January, January was it January 18th, right? Instead of Pisces. I mean, excuse me. So, like Pisces is January the starts on February 19th, right? So if I'm a Aquarius February 18th, right, it starts, I may have a lot of Piscean energy and bleed through. So yes, it can be a factor. I hope that answers that. Good questions. All right. Therapist says, this is a good question. How does Lilith influence our birth chart? I have Pisces there. Lilith is an asteroid influence, or the dark moon. Sometimes called the dark moon. But it also, what it does is that brings out the kind of the dark side of our soul. We all have a factor, forgive me for a better word, an extreme factor or a kink factor. Lilith brings up kind of the darker side of our sexuality or our nature. So, like, for example, Lilith like in your case, Lilith in Pisces means that you have a deep psychic nature and intuitive, but you may also draw, like, for example, your dreams could be very kind of dark and mystical. They're not light and happy. It's like a little darker, but you draw power from darkness. Not necessarily evil, because evil doesn't necessarily mean darkness. Darkness is not evil, but it means like your view is a little different. Whereas the average Pisces might have dreams and be lighthearted, mystical. You're deeper, you're mystical, you draw from a deeper place. Likewise, I did a chart for somebody a few years ago where Lilith was really strongly in their chart. And the interpretation around the alignments around that said that, and it was funny, it said they have a very exotic sexual life. And this person, if you knew them, you would never believe that. Like they're so straight laced, like conservative. And when I was doing this person's reading on their chart, I said, well, this Lilith alignment says that you kind of have a kink side to you, that you have a kind of a deep secret sexual life. And the lady said to me, oh my God, that's amazing you said that. She said, well, people don't know, but I'm really into BD, what they call BDSM, bondage and discipline, slave master. And she belonged to a secret BDSM club. Now, if you saw this lady, she was an attorney by day, wearing a suit, perfect hair and makeup. But by the weekend, she was into BDSM. Who would have believed? But her astrology showed it. So that Lilith can have interesting aspects. Good question. Anyways, in your case, that would say that Lilith means you dream deeply and mystical, and your dreams may seem darker, in a sense, almost ominous to people. But for you, it's not necessarily scary, but profound. Interesting. Damien says, I understand because sometimes my personality can dramatically change. Yeah, Damien, that being on that cusp like that you can draw totally different energies like that. So yes. All right. Amsterdam still says, does one use astrology to interpret dreams? I've never used it that way. Maybe it can be. I've just not really encountered that. I mean, I see astrology as being able to show the nature. We might look again at that Lilith placement to see if somebody comes to me and they say, I'm always having dreams, I'm walking in darkness, and, demons come and give me guidance, right? Well, that might be that Lilith factor. So we could look at the placement of certain things to see how that influences it, but I have never used it to interpret dreams per se, So I'm not saying you can't. I just don't use it for dreams. Dreams are a whole different kind of category of interpretation outside of astrology for me. But your astrology, well, let me actually clarify that a little bit, Amsterdam. So one of the things is that when we look, we can see past life energy through the chart. And so if somebody's having a recurring dream that points that they think could be a past life, we can confirm past life energy through the chart to see if that dream has a connection. So yes, I suppose to a degree one can. Okay. All right. Well, listen, guys, I want to say thank you. I'm going to wrap it up now, but I've had so much fun with you tonight, and I hope you've had fun too. And I really appreciate. Oops, hold on, Scott just asked something. Are past lives the same zodiac sign? Scott, there are some people who say you always reincarnate with the same zodiac sign, but I don't believe it because I've met people who they say to me, Bob, I'm like an Aquarius in this life, but I feel so connected to Leo. And then when I look at their charts, I don't see any Leo connections. But then when they do past life regression or something, they discover their birth times and dates, and they were a Leo. So past lives, I believe people can change I don't believe they keep the same sign every life. So no, I don't think that past lives are the same zodiac sign. Some people may disagree, but I just don't. I have enough evidence of my own work with people to say that you reincarnate at the time that's best for your soul. Now, it could be there's a time where reincarnating as a certain sign is an essential part of your journey, but I haven't seen it be consistent. So anyways, hope that answers that, Scott. Good question. Well, listen, guys, PsychicBob is going to wrap it up. It's my day off. It is time to Netflix and chill. I have had a day and a half dealing with the scammers trying to hack my accounts. I thank you guys for being here. You're welcome. Thank you, Damien, for being here. I'm so glad you enjoyed this. Thank you. Thank you, B. LeClaire. I'm glad you're here. Thank you to Baroness Kolbas for her wonderful service tonight and helping with the chat. Thank you, Baroness. You rock. You guys, you're welcome, Amy. So glad you're here. Yay. Well, guys, listen, I love it. Please help me out. Thumbs up this video. I need some support with YouTube because they're keeping an eye on me, and I can't afford to be sent to the wayside, okay? And, I hope wherever you are, you're having a good night. Listen, I got to say it before we close out. If you are, listen up, if you are at a time of struggle in your life, what do we say? Don't give in to despair. Just pause. Walk outside under the stars. Look up and attune to the cosmos, because that wheel of the zodiac is always spinning. And that means each day it brings new alignments for new beginnings, fresh starts, and new power. So keep a little faith, a little hope, a little love. Love's important in your heart. And look to the stars. Let the stars be your guides, your allies on your journey. You're not controlled by them, but they'll give you power when you need it. So don't be afraid. Let the stars guide you, and you'll be blessed. Guys, I love you all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being open to my astrology. By the way, I want to just say real quick before I go, all the information in this video is my own creation. I do not take it from any other astrologer or astrology website or books or anything. It is my own creation through my study of the star charts. It's copyrighted Psychic Bob. You won't get these readings anywhere else, and I hope you've enjoyed them. So thank you so much. I love you guys. May all of you have a blessed night. Be Be back here tomorrow, Tuesday, 12 o'clock noon for live psychic readings. We're going to do messages from the spirit world. You don't want to miss it. Bring your questions and we'll see what the spirit people have. And come collect your messages from the spirit world tomorrow, Tuesday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern USA time. That's 12 Eastern, 11 Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific. For those of you in Europe, 5 p.m. London time, 6 p.m. Continental Western Europe time. We will see you then. I love you. Let the stars bless you along the way. Blessed be and good night.